sum versus subtotal. So I'm gonna go over to my amount charged column. This is column R. I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom. And the quick way of doing that is to hit Control and the down arrow, and it takes me to the last row in my table. So this is the column that I want to know the total of. So to start with, I'm going to just show you what sum does. So if I just do a quick sum of R2 through R169, right, that's our total. That's everything that is in this column. I'm going to throw a little comma in there just to make it easier for me, right? So great, we have our total, we can move on with our day, right? Now I want to look at one specific group. So now I'm gonna choose this one, Soc Ready. And now my sum here is still the sum of everything. It is not just the sum of what is visible. So the sum feature, the sum function, excuse me, calculates everything within this range, even if it is hidden by a filter. So we have filtered out everybody but Soc Ready, and the sum function is still counting everything, even the things that are hidden. All right, so if I clear this filter, all right, so I'm going to get rid of the sum function. Now I'm going to use the subtotal function. So subtotal is going to be equals subtotal. And when I open the parentheses, it gives me this list. And unfortunately, because this list is built into Excel and is an actual text, I can't make that bigger. But what it does is it's giving me a list of options. So the subtotal is a function that allows you to perform another function. Because what I want this to do is find the sum, I'm going to choose the sum from this list. So 9 is sum. So it's subtotal 9. And now I put my reference. So I'm going to put the same reference as I had before, R2 through R169, close the parentheses and hit enter. So I get the same total that I had before, right? So that was equals subtotal 9 for sum, comma. So it's asking you what the function is, and our function is sum. That's our function. And now our reference R2 through R169, and that gets us our total. Now if I do that same filter as I did before, and I look only at this one project, watch that number, it now is showing me the sum of only the visible options. So it's showing me only the sum of anything visible. It is excluding things that are hidden by filters. So one of the things I do with this project or with this spreadsheet every month is I look at this and I look basically by account number. And so I can do that, you know, I did it based on that group name, but I can do it on account number as well. So if I only want to look at that, and then this is how I know how much to charge that account at the end of the month. Theoretically, what if I don't want to include this in any of my things? The reason that I might want to do that is this is for a different college outside of my college, but they just happen to be included in this data, right? I'm going to hide this. When I hide it, my total, my subtotal stays the same because this subtotal 9 includes anything that's hidden. However, there is a sneaky subtotal function equals subtotal 109, which does actually show up if you scroll down. So the things in the 100 range, they will also exclude anything that is hidden intentionally. So our total before was 2976, right? And if I change this to subtotal 109, it's 28. It went down because it is now excluding the thing that I hid. But you know, what if I want to know the average of all of these numbers? I can do that here as well. So if I pick the 1 and then I insert my reference.
And you had to put a comma after the 1.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
That's the average amount we're giving away every single time. And then to change it, I don't have to rewrite it. I can just change the function that subtotal is going to add, or excuse me, that subtotal is going to perform. So now I've changed it back to 9 to get the sum, and there it gets my sum.
Okay. Okay.
But yes, as you're typing it in, one of the nice things about Excel is that it tells you what it wants you to do in that specific place. So it's asking for the function number, and it's giving me this function number list. So I'm going to choose 9. And then in the display here, it says there's a comma. So I'm going to put a comma, and now it's asking me for my references, which is R2 to R169.
And since you have a table, can you just choose the column header that says amount or whatever, and it'll just choose everything without having to do the rows and column numbers? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I wanted to do the specific reference just in case people weren't familiar with how some of those table features work. And then from this point on, anything that I sort by here or anything that I filter, that subtotal updates automatically.